Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Or this morning? Yeah, it's this morning. Uh, so it's approximately 1:30, almost 1:40 a.m. on Thursday, May 12th. Just a little bit ago, I had recorded, hopefully that'll get uploaded first, some of the noise coming from the production from the Stave Company, this disturbing level of noise from their production that I recorded at the property where I am located, and that recording was taken right off of the master bedroom sliding glass door off the back of the house facing east. So it's right there in that opening where the sliding glass door is. Um, just to give you an idea of where the recording is taken from. Um, and keep in mind, the safe company is to the north directly. So, and that noise that I'm recording is actually from from the east. That's where the microphone is being placed, is on the eastern side. So it's not even a direct face to the source of the noise, and it's still that loud. Um, but I wanted to add this recording on here because as I was making that other recording of the noise, the thought occurred to me that has occurred to me so many other times, and I hope at some point occurs to you, if any of you all are paying attention. Uh, and the question is this: why or what would possess any of these public servants to act the way that they did, to threaten my life, to threaten my property, to steal my property? Uh, all because I called them and asked them to do their jobs. I mean, just think about that. What would possess them to put guns in my face and threaten my life because I called them and asked them to do their job? Now, was I the nicest person when I called them all the time? No. Am I required to be? No. If they're acting like idiots, I am well within my right to tell them that they're acting like idiots. I'm well within my right to tell their superiors that they're acting like idiots. When their superiors don't do anything about them acting like idiots, that means that their superiors are idiots too. So clearly, I have shown that this is not just one facet or department of the municipal corporation. This is the whole damn kit and caboodle. You have people at the lower levels that work for the city that do all kinds of bad shit to people, at least to me. I can only speak for myself. But if half of what I heard is true, then holy cow. But you have these lower this lower hanging fruit that causes all kinds of damage and destruction in the community, committing fraud, lying, which is kind of the same thing, uh, bearing false witness was kind of the same thing. Uh, they get promoted. They get, it seems like they get the preferential treatment, like Ashley Miller. Now, I mean, there could be other reasons, but I find it ironic that shortly after she was part of the fraud back in 2018, December of 2018, when she conspired along with Phipps and a couple of the other public servants between City Hall and the police department, and lied and said that I was at City Hall threatening violence, whatever the hell that means. She lied. And if she didn't actually give that lie, then she conspired with the others to support that lie. Because I don't think they realized I had the phone call recorded. But they didn't care. Because they don't care about true law and order around here. They care about it being their way. That's it. See, they disregard Ohio codes. They disregard state codes and laws. They disregard the constitutions. They disregard federal codes. And they disregard the Supreme Court rulings, and they disregard the federal Constitution primarily. See, what they don't understand, what they should, and this is why they're going to end up paying for this in the long run financially, is that the structure of government is like a funnel. When you get to the inferior courts and the inferior corporations, like the municipal corporations, they don't have more rights than the organizations above them, and they don't have the ability or the authorization to create any laws or codes or statutes or regulations that are beyond the confines of the laws already established by the legislature at the state and federal level, and then ultimately the Supreme Court rulings and the Constitution for the United States. That's at the top. So if you think of a funnel, the top is open and it funnels down into a smaller opening, right? Well, if you think of a funnel, concept of a funnel, the bottom part of the funnel, the outlet, can't be bigger than the inlet, the top. It doesn't work that way. For a funnel to work properly, it has to be smaller, and no matter what extent you're talking about it, the bottom has to be smaller than the top for a funnel to work properly. So think about that concept, that analogy. That's how government is supposed to be. At the top, at the opening of the funnel, is the Constitution for the United States, the federal Constitution. That dictates to the federal employees and everyone under them what they can and can't do from that point. Now, each level underneath that, the Supreme Court, the federal government, the state government, and then the municipal governments, they all have to fall in line accordingly, just like the funnel. And none of the levels underneath the Constitution can have a wider scope or wider range of reach than the Constitution. They have to fit within the boundaries of the Constitution. So the Constitution sets the top boundary, the opening. Then the Supreme Court comes underneath that, a little bit smaller, still within the confines of the Constitution at the top. So you have the sides as they're coming in of the funnel. Then you funnel down to the federal codes. Then you have the state constitutions, respectively, for each state. Those are all each a little bit different. And then beneath the state constitution is the state codes. And then beneath the state codes is the municipal corporation codes, and so on and so forth. So when you get to the county court and the municipal courts, they are the inferior courts, the inferior levels of government. They have to, by law, be smaller than what's above them. Period. I guess at the most extreme, they can be as wide as, if you think about the analogy, in certain points of the funnel, there could be levels that are almost equal, if you will, but they can't be wider. They can't go beyond what's above them, because it just doesn't work that way. Once you start to do that, it defeats the purpose of the way the funnel works, the physics of the funnel. So that's how it's supposed to be. But for some reason here, we've got public servants, and not just the public servants in the police department, but in almost every department of the city, and even the mayor himself, the CEO of Zanesville, Ohio, the corporation, when confronted with the malfeasance of his own office, as well as agents and employees working on behalf of the corporation that he's in charge of, he's principal of, when confronted with this information and evidence, he doesn't even act like a man and confront it and acknowledge it, or acknowledge it for that matter. No, he hides like a coward. No response whatsoever. Not even a, oh, hey, thanks for reaching out to me. Let me look into this and get back to you. Nothing. Just completely crickets. So that tells me that whether he's involved firsthand in any of this or not, whether he knew firsthand what was taking place and what his employees were doing to me, once he became aware of it, what has he done about it? Well, from my perspective, jack shit. In fact, well, that's giving him too much credit, because what he's done is he's actively covered up the conspiracy. He's covered up the crimes of his employees. He's ignored the theft of my property. He has refused to address it, to acknowledge it. Hell, he refused to even find out the status of the property so that I wouldn't be threatened again by his employees. Because after all, what's the point in beating a dead horse, right? Well, especially when beating a dead horse, it gets up and throws you in a cage, puts a gun in your face. I'm being facetious, kind of digressing. These people have proven to be lawless. Now, if you're around the Zanesville area, if you're around the Muskingum County area, especially if you vote, think about that for a second. I mean, is that the kind of person that you voted for? Is that the kind of person that you thought Donald Mason was? Is that the kind of person you thought any of these people are or ended up being? Because I'll be honest with you, I used to have respect for all of them, like most people probably do. Not all, but well, especially these days, who really knows how many people have respect for these people anymore? But with all the semantics aside, I used to have respect for these people, and even after the few times of what the Zanesville Police Department public servants did to me, I still had respect for the Sheriff's Department, because I thought that they were respectable. I thought that they were deserving of respect. It wasn't until I found myself in their crosshairs for asking public servants to do their jobs that I found the Sheriff's Department is condoning of the activity as well. So not only the municipal corporation and the city, but the county and the Sheriff's Department and the sheriff himself condones terrorizing people when they apparently ask, or let me rephrase that, apparently terrorizing people when they ask public servants to do their job. And what baffles me further is that throughout all of these people, throughout all of these levels of government, throughout all of these different departments and agencies and so forth, none of them could figure out that the codes and statutes apply to them, tell them that it is their responsibility. None of them could, take the time, utilize some due diligence, and research the topic, the issue. Not a single one of them were aware of the Ohio Revised Code 715.49, sections A and B, that I've been telling them about for years. As a matter of fact, in the next couple of days, I'll do a recording. I've got some emails going all the way back to 2019. Conversations that I was having with Donald Mason about all of this, and addressing, or at least bringing to his attention, things like Ohio Revised Code 715.49, sections A and B, and others, municipal codes as well. For him at this point to hide like a coward is an insult to my intelligence. And really, it's an insult to all the evidence, because I have more than enough evidence to prove what these people have done, or what they haven't done in some situations that have allowed the harm or damages to be caused. So just think about that. If you're in the area, if you're a voter, especially if you're a voter, and you think that your votes go for something, if you voted for Donald Mason, just think about that for a moment. You probably thought that you were voting for, someone, that's from Zanesville, that knows the area, that will do the right thing for the area. Well, what is the right thing for the area? Is it to destroy people's lives? I mean, hell, I had the plans of starting a couple businesses myself. Not ones that would, destroy the community or, cause disturbances all night long like these idiots do. But, that was my plans initially, was to start a couple different businesses and provide some employment opportunities for people in the area, better paying jobs. That provide services for people in the area, homeowners, property owners, that would benefit them. I had some good plans. But it wasn't until I realized that it doesn't make a difference what your intentions are or what your plans are, how much good you want to do. These tyrants don't give a damn. They don't care that these companies are destroying the neighborhoods and the community. They're protecting the companies and the operators. And they're destroying men like me. Or let me rephrase that. They're attempting to destroy men like me, because they haven't destroyed me at all. They've affected me. Threatening, my life has an effect. Just the way it is. So, I don't want to ramble too much or get too far off topic, but I want you to think about that. Think about it for a minute. And just consider, is it right? Is it wrong? I made my decision, but think about it.